they have the director like this. So, and say we're so low budget. Like, nah.
Hey, my name is Doug Rowe, and this is how God changed my life. I grew up in the church. My parents, mainly my mother, took us to church every Sunday, Wednesdays. So it seems like we were in the church all the time growing up. And I always knew who God was. I believed in God, but never really had a relationship with Him until later on in life. I own a business, and I've been in business for 20 years, and I was really pursuing money for most of my life. I really wanted everything that the world had to offer. I wanted the Rolex, the G-Wagon, the 50-foot Sportfish boat. I wanted all of it, and I was chasing it, and I was aggressively pursuing it. I hired this guy who at the time was not really my friend, but he's one of my best friends in the whole world now. And he ended up overdosing on heroin during the time he was working for me. He ended up at a place called Dunklin out in Okeechobee, and it's a drug and alcohol rehab. They allow people to come out on Saturdays and play games and visit. And I would take them Chick-fil-A, or I'd take them sandwiches, or I would take them candy and sodas and stuff like that. That's the one day of the week where they can have this stuff. It turned from 3 guys to 15 guys to 25 guys. The crazy thing that started happening to me was they would tell me about their week. They would tell me what they're learning. They would tell me that they're learning to journal, and they're learning to get with God in the morning, and they're learning to be still. And then they would ask me if there's anything that they could do or pray for me about. And I was kind of baffled by that, because it was like, I'm married, I have kids, I have a successful business, what do I need prayer for? But they would do it anyway. They'd put their hands on me and they'd start praying for me. As they prayed for me, as they poured into me, it kind of just changed my whole life. When they are in the program, these guys are addicted to drugs and alcohol, and they take them back in time to figure out what it is that started their whole journey, whether it was something that happened to them when they were younger, or just a lie that they believed, or whatever. The funny thing was, they were taking me back to figure out where my thing started. Where did you start pursuing money and possessions and stuff like that? I remember one of them asking me, "Why do you want the watch?" I said, "Because I deserve it, because I've worked hard for it." And he just kept asking, "Why do you want it? Why do you want it?" I had a shareholder distribution check where I had the money left over after all my obligations, that I had the money to buy the watch. And I remember it like it was yesterday. My wife decided that she wanted to come with me for my morning, routine. And she's like, she's crying, and she's like, "I really feel like we should give this much money to them." And it just happened to be my watch money. And I reached in my center console, I wrote a check and gave it to her, and I took her home and said, "Get out," before I changed my mind. And it was just a couple days later, my son Griffin was over here, and he gave me this bracelet. Basically, I replaced the Rolex with this bracelet, "I am second." I wear this as a daily reminder of I'm second. Every day, I believe, strengthens my relationship with the Lord. And if I miss a day, it kind of freaks me out. It's like I have to be at the boat ramp at 5:30. I have to get my hour and a half in before my day starts. It kind of just changed my whole life. And now today, as a result of that, I'm a completely different person than I was before it all started. So.
That's good.